with Julie Youngst. I have to concentrate on saying Youngst still, even though
You
you've
knew me
been
as
married how
Sailor
long?
for so long.
How long have you been married?
We just celebrated 5 years.
Yeah, and you would think by now I would have adjusted, but I still have to think like it's not Sailor, it's Youngst.
People do that.
So I am very excited
Me
because
too.
we are talking about Battle of the Babes. I'm actually gonna, if you send me this digitally, I'm gonna post it underneath. This is a really cool, like an entire thing about sponsorship opportunities and the history of the event, but I want to talk about all that.
Okay.
So how long have you been doing this? I know it's in the front of here, but I just got this from you and I didn't get a chance to look at it.
So technically, this is the 9th annual.
Okay.
However, it started actually earlier than that. It started in 2009. I actually posted a picture on Facebook today. It was one of my memories. It was the very first one. And I had this idea that I wanted to do. All these bands were hosting multi-band lineups. And I thought, I want to do something special. I want to do one with all girl singers. And I was going to call it the Battle of the Bitches.
Oh, so it was a less PG name before. Okay.
Yeah, a little less. So I approached Tim Finnegan, who at the time owned what is now the Beaver Bar over there across from the Iron Horse.
Right.
Right? And he said, that's a great idea. And then after we kind of settled on it, then we decided, hey, let's make it a breast cancer event. So the breast cancer thing actually came later.
Okay.
And then I think it was like a week before the event, he sold the bar. And the guy wanted him out. And I was like, oh no, what do we do? So we moved it across the street to the Iron Horse. I literally had somebody standing in the road with a sign going, it's this way.
Oh yeah, because it was last minute change.
Very last minute.
And how many bands did you have for that one?
I think we had 5 that time.
And how many are you going to have this year?
This year I have 14 right now. I had 15, but one of them had to drop out. So I do have room for one more.
Oh, there you go. So if there's one more band that wants to come, when is your Battle of the Babes?
It is the 8th and 9th of October. So
not this weekend, it's next weekend.
Right. You have just enough time to clean up from the hurricane.
All right.
And be
All
ready
right.
to party.
Very cool. I'm going to have to see if we're playing that weekend and get with you. It's Saturday?
Well, so it's both.
Okay.
Saturday, it used to be one day, and we had a bike run, and then we had all the bands. But it got so big, and people didn't want to go on the bike run at 9 o'clock in the morning and stay all day. So we split it into 2 days. And so we have the bike run on Saturday, and Cindy organizes the bike run, and she has been phenomenal at running the bike run. Thank you, Cindy.
And how many bikers are you getting for that? I know it's a pretty big crowd.
I never know until they show up, but her record so far has, I think, been 110.
Yeah, I knew it was big.
Yeah, she's, and it was, before she took the bike run over, it was a dismal failure. I mean, I think one year we had 2 bikes on the run.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's a huge increase.
It's completely thanks to her.
So 14 bands plus the bike run.
Plus the bike run. Now, the bike run runs on Saturday, and then it comes back into the Main Street station. So it starts at the Fraternal Order of Eagles in Ormond on Nova, and they have been kind enough to provide a biscuits and gravy buffet breakfast for all the riders, and then they take off, and then we have stops at, oh gosh, I should have looked at that before I came over. I know Big Tuna, Saints and Sinners, and there's one more, and I can't remember which one it is.
That's all right. I do that stuff all the time.
We'll post it.
That's right. I do that all the time.
And it ends at Main Street Station, and then Black Sheep will be playing from 3 to 7. And then last year.
Oh, so you're doing a full set?
Yeah, we're doing a full show.
Okay.
And then after us, last year's winner, Nikki Bolin, will be there with her new band On the Rocks.
I didn't know she won last year.
She raised.
Congratulations.
Well,
so how do you win? Let's talk about that.
So, for I don't know, the first 3 or 4 years we did this thing, it was just kind of Battle of the Babes was just what we called it.
Mm-hmm.
There was no actual battle, and so we decided to start having the bands compete against each other by raising money. So the first year, it was you had the time limit of your set. You started when your set began, and you had until,
you raised whatever during your set.
Right.
Okay.
You passed the bucket, however you wanted. I think that year Missy auctioned off her shirt, and then took it off on stage and gave it to the person, which was really cool. But then we opened it up to, hey, the minute I sign you up for the lineup, start raising money. The most.
Well, that's the end goal, right? Is the more we can raise, the better.
Exactly.
Sure.
And some of these bands, I'm telling you, they hop too. And Linda Long with the Cyclones, she has been just phenomenal in raising money. Now she had other plans this year, so she won't be joining us this year. But we wish her the best. She's raising money for her own breast cancer thing.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. It all goes to the same place.
Exactly.
So Nikki won last year. Do you remember how much she raised?
I don't.
How much? Do you know how much you did last year total? Do you remember?
So last year total, I think we wrote a check to the Florida Breast Cancer Foundation for just shy of $9,000.
That's not bad at all.
Our goal is $10,000 this year.
Okay. Totally doable. Totally doable. Now, I saw in here there's sponsorship opportunities, right? So are those posted online somewhere too?
They're not online. I post them every once in a while, hey, message me if you want to become a sponsor.
Okay.
My goal is to have some major corporate sponsors because to grow the event as we go forward, I would like to get some, headlining bands.
Sure.
Sheryl Crow, would you like to play?
There you go. Right. You never know. Exactly right.
And she's a cancer survivor.
So who are your stage sponsors this year?
Actually, this year the Main Street Station is sponsoring all the stages.
Very nice.
So.
And they give you the venue.
Phaedra has, everybody says, oh, well, she's just given the venue. She's not just given the venue. She probably spends almost what she makes on this. She gets a lot of business from it, obviously.
Yeah, but there's a lot of work that goes into it.
She puts a ton of work in. She puts a lot of money in it. You saw the fight that we had just to get the permit.
Which was crazy.
That's crazy.
I think it's great that Phaedra's still keeping the city on its heels because they're way out of line giving her a hassle anyway.
She got a certification for, what was it?
Negotiation mastery
and
from Harvard Business School, by the way.
I said, girl, you were halfway to an A before you even walked in that classroom.
And that's Harvard Business School. That's not something you just walk in and grab.
Right.
So kudos to you, Phaedra. That is awesome. So you do the first event, last minute change. You wind up at Iron Horse. How do we wind up at Main Street Station? And why did we put is it just that they suggested the breast cancer thing, or do you have a reason that you went with that cause?
Well, I figured if it was all girls, it should be a female-related cause.
Which makes sense.
And that year was in April. So it really kind of didn't have a whole lot to do with, Breast Cancer Month or anything like that. And about halfway through that event, I don't even think it was halfway through, about halfway through the first band, I realized I was in way over my head, and I said, I quit. I'm never doing this again.
Okay.
I did not know how much work went into it and how much help you need. I was trying to do the whole thing by myself. I thought, I can do it. Not true.
Too many moving parts.
Oh my gosh.
Especially
yes.
the day up.
Yeah.
Especially the day up.
And there was so many things that it was like, oh, I didn't plan for that, and I didn't plan for that, and I didn't.
But this is what year now?
9.
So
10 if you include that first one.
Okay, but you've had some experience now.
A little bit,
I think it's going to take a little to surprise you.
But I don't do even a quarter of it by myself.
So how many people are on your team?
Well, I'd say full time. We have, of course, myself and Phaedra, and then Cindy, and then Gonzo has jumped on board to help with raffles and things.
Okay.
And then I would like to add a person that can get me the corporate sponsorships because that's not my wheelhouse.
And that takes a lot of time.
And connections.
That takes a lot of time. That's a pain in the neck. But that's first of all, I'm thrilled you're still doing it. Was breast cancer just somebody's idea, or was it just because it's a female-related cause?
It was in the first year. The first place I approached was Komen, and they looked at the title and they said, no, we don't even want your money. And I was like, wow, okay.
Why?
Fine. Because it was the Battle of the Bitches.
Oh, okay.
So, and I approached a couple different places, and finally...
They tend to get a little gun-shy. Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I had a sponsor going on board that was going to give us $5,000, and then at the last minute, they backed out. So, because, they realized what the title of the event was.
I'm surprised they had that big of a problem with the title. It's not... they say bitch on TV.
I know.
And my standard has kind of been like, if it's on regular TV, then
though
it's
I
probably
wonder
not.
If it's supposed to be, a breast cancer thing, they don't want any kind of...
Maybe it sounds derogatory.
Exactly. That's
but it's been Battle of the Babes as long as I can remember. When did you change it?
Well, I spent 5 years just distancing myself. I was like, I'm never doing this again. And then I decided, all right, I'll give it a shot. So many people asked me, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll try it.
Try one more.
But I'm going to need help. So I realized that bitches wasn't going to fly. So I, molded about, okay, what can we change it to? So that's what I did. And
I like the name Battle of the Babes.
I do too.
I really do.
I think bitches kind of sounds more rock and roll.
It does. I agree. But Babe sounds more complimentary.
It does.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you've got some beautiful singers out there too.
I really do.
You really do. So this year, I know you guys are doing it. Is Miss Intent back?
Miss Intent is back. We have, let's see.
It's going to be hard to remember 14 bands.
It really is. So I've got Lacey Lundgren. And
now, she used to be with Foreplay.
She was with Foreplay. As a matter of fact, it's funny. I messaged her and I said, hey, I see you've got, you're out there again, because I saw the video that she did at Fredster's.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, hey, how would you like to do the Battle of the Babes? And I sent her the Facebook page.
Okay.
And she says, I would love to. And by the way, that's my picture that you're using.
Oh.
She's in the collage of the girls. And I was like, okay, good to know.
Good to know.
Yeah, so she's
doing. Is she still in a band, or is it just her now? It's her band.
I'm not quite sure. She said that the name was going to be Ace High.
Okay.
So I've got her down as Lacey Lundgren.
Okay.
But whichever she brings, that'll be great.
Who else is doing it this year? Do you have Strut back?
I don't have Strut back.
Okay.
I can't remember why they couldn't do it. I think somebody was on vacation.
I'm sure it's a conflict.
Yeah.
Nikki Bowen will be there with On the Rocks.
With On the Rocks. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that was one of the prizes. They get to pick where their time slot and what stage for next year. Like, you can do anything. So when we finally do start getting some headlining bands, they can...
They can say, I want to open before the headliner.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So and then we have, of course, Miss Intent and Mystic Fire, which is a new band. They reached out to me. And then, of course, Zoo Crew, always.
Right, yes.
Sesame Plexer,
yes.
Always. Sass.
Oh, yeah? That's cool, okay.
Yeah. The Rock and Roll Off Band.
I don't know them.
They, I believe, are Daytona-based.
Okay. Rock band, I'm assuming?
I'm sorry?
Rock band, I'm assuming? Rock music?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, classic rock.
Okay. It sounds like you're going to have a heck of a lineup out there.
Yeah, all different.
Is there, now it's not this weekend, so you're not worried about the hurricane because you have a full week to get past it.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. And you mentioned before, so we were talking about this, that you've got some really good raffle prizes this year.
Oh my gosh. Cindy sent me, she keeps sending me pictures of these baskets. And I mean, there was one that's got a Botox session and I think some sort of like facial, and then like $200 worth of skincare products.
Oh wow,
There was a couple of Tiffany bracelets.
Wow.
There was the Eagles. They gave 2 or 3 baskets, and there's just a list of things. And
that's terrific. And those are raffle items?
Those are raffle items.
Okay, so they buy a raffle ticket.
So the way we do it, the way we do it is we line up each basket with its own little
bucket,
right?
Okay.
So you buy as many tickets as you want. You drop the tickets in the bucket for the price that you want.
Okay, and then so is there a silent auction also? Like, what can they do that day besides? Is it just the raffle?
Just the raffles. The auction I think is a little just more than we can.
Well, you got 14 bands to squeeze in.
I got 14 bands to squeeze in, and they stagger. So we have 3 stages, and so stage 1 will start, and then stage 2 will start like halfway through their set because it's far enough. It's in the back.
Oh, okay, cool. So the bands actually overlap. It isn't even on the break.
Right.
They're just overlap.
Right. So the first 2 stages in the front will run this one, and then this one, and this one, and then this one in the back will.
Oh, so it's 3 stages total.
3 stages total. Yes.
Okay, I didn't catch that. I thought it was just 2. Now, is Butch doing sound?
Butch will be doing sound on the front stage.
Okay.
And Candace will be doing sound on the inside stage. And then Uncle Bobby, is that what they call him? Brother Bobby. Bobby Fortier.
Yeah.
He'll be running sound in the back.
That is fantastic. And now, even if they can't go, because somebody's busy or their band's playing or whatever, they can still donate.
Absolutely. A lot of the bands, and I have posted it, and I'll post it again, part of the way that they raise their money is they start a Facebook fundraiser.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So then I'll just, post their link, and you can just go to their link, and that not only will it donate to the cause, it'll help your favorite band win.
Okay, and can they just donate directly through you if they're not interested? Like if they just want to make a donation?
Absolutely.
And how do they do that? Do they message you on Facebook? Like, what do they do?
Yeah, you can message me on Facebook, or I have a PayPal set up at BOTB4 The Cure.
Oh, the number 4?
Yes.
Okay, I got it. So we'll post that down below also, so we have it. And you said what time of the band starting?
Zoo Crew is the first band, and it starts at 1:40.
Okay, and when are you done?
10.
Oh, so it's a full day.
It's a full day.
It's awesome. And Phaedra couldn't be with us, obviously, which is, I totally understand. She's been sponsoring it for how many years? Like, she's been the bulk of it, I think.
Yeah, because the first one, obviously, was at the Iron Horse. The second time that I attempted it, 5 years later, kind of the same thing happened. We were supposed to have it at the bar out back, and a week before the event, it closed.
Okay.
And the shovelhead was nice enough to step in. And then ever since then, it's been at the Main Street Station.
And the city is constantly hassling her over one thing or another. As a matter of fact, I think you were saying it was a close call. You thought they were going to pull your permit.
Yeah.
And it turns out they weren't, and they backed off of that or whatever. But like, it seems like every time you turn around, they're giving her a hard time about something.
Well, I tell people the Main Street Station has enough problems. This, I call it the little event that could, because it just seems like everything that can get thrown at us. You know, we've had to change venues a couple of times. Almost got the permit pulled this year.
Mm-hmm.
Hurricane Matthew blew through, and we had to postpone it 1 year. So yeah.
And you guys aren't a 501 charity yet. You're just donating the money to
correct
a charity.
Yeah, we're just a funnel. It goes directly. 100% of the proceeds goes directly to the Florida Breast Cancer Foundation, and all of the Facebook fundraisers that bands start are just automatically to the Florida Breast Cancer Foundation. They're not to the Battle
So
of
if
the
they
Babes.
wanted to, they could even just directly make the donation and let you know, hey, I donated to the
Well,
Florida Breast Cancer Center.
right, and so all those the band fundraisers, they're set up with the Breast Cancer Foundation as the recipient.
So you don't even have to get in the middle of
look
it.
right. I don't even have to worry about it. I just look at how much they raised.
And do all the bands have one?
Not all of them. Some of them have opted to do other things, but I think about half of them have.
And so, no, I also heard, I think Steve messaged me and said he was going to actually auction, like put in a drum set as a prize.
Yes, well, you had given us 2 drum sets a while back, several years ago, to use for the event. And
Oh, right. You were going to have one on each stage so people didn't have to bring a kit.
right.
I remember that.
Right.
Okay.
But Steve has started the Dave Axel drum set collection starter kit.
Oh, yeah.
So
Good for him.
yeah, his collection is growing, but the space we have
Has not gotten any
grown.
bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have decided to auction off one of those.
That is
drum
awesome.
sets.
That
Or
is
not
awesome.
auction, raffle off.
So there'll be a full kit as a prize.
There'll be a full kit as a prize. I don't think it'll have cymbals with it, but
That's
it'll
all right.
be basically a shell kit.
That is awesome. And since I have you, tell me about Black Sheep. What year is this now?
Oh gosh.
Because you
Well,
did Black Sheep right after Midnight Man.
Yeah, well, our first public gig as Black Sheep was the 2017 Battle of the Babes.
Okay, so it's been a bit. We're going on almost 6 years.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Very cool. And now, so it's you, it's Butch, it's Steve on drums. I don't know your bass player. I know
He's
you replaced
brand
your
new,
bass
Yes, he's
player.
brand new. Paul left the band to start a family.
Okay.
Yes, congratulations, Paul. And he works fast too. We got Chris Dryden, formerly of he played with September Dogs.
Okay, I know who they are. I haven't seen them, but I've seen their videos.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have rehearsal like once in a blue moon because Butch lives in Cocoa. We rehearse in Daytona, and Chris lives in Lady Lakes.
Oh, so this is not easy to rehearse. So what do you like once a month, if that?
If that, yeah.
Okay.
We add a big chunk of songs and work on those for a couple of months or so. And
So I'll tell you what I think was cool. I finally got to see Black Sheep at the Ken Martin benefit in Sanford.
yeah, that was fun.
And what was cool is, and forgive me for not being up to date on my rock and roll stuff, I should be. You went from like Ladies and Gentlemen, which is that Saliva?
Yes.
Okay, Ladies and Gentlemen. But I think you did Shut Up and Dance or some dance song too.
We did. We literally segue Billie Eilish, Bad Guy,
remember
into
that.
Killing in the Name of.
Okay.
So that's like our weirdest transition.
Because you guys don't play out this way that often, right?
We
Like-
don't. We have one coming up in November at Castleberry's.
Okay.
November 5th, I want to say.
Very cool. And what about like, you have any plans to get in any more clubs down here? Are you going to do Post Time? Are you going to do, Fredsters? Or are you pretty much staying in your backyard because it's close?
No, there is no close.
Well, yeah, I guess there wouldn't be.
We've picked up a couple of venues down Butch's Way.
Yeah.
And we have the First and Last Tab out in Ocala near
How do you
Chris.
like that gig?
I love that gig.
I have not been there yet, but people tell me they just love live music.
You
at that
know, I
venue.
tell you what, they're a great crowd. They're an appreciative crowd. Dale is a great venue owner. He's got his stuff together, and he's just a good guy to work for.
And how long does it take you to get there?
It takes Steve and I about a shade under 90 minutes, but
That's not too bad.
But Butch has to drive basically to our house and take a left to get there.
Right.
So
So
he's
for him,
in
it's like 2 hours
two
plus.
and a half. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And but you're becoming pretty regular there. I think I've seen it
We-
come up on the crawl.
Yeah, we play there like once a quarter.
And I heard that it's a smoke bar, but they have smoke eaters, and it's not supposed to be a big thing.
Yeah, it's not too bad. The ceilings are high.
Mm-hmm.
It's long. The stage is kind of away from the smoke. I don't find that it bothers me. as much.
Because for singers, that's the first thing that that's the first thing my singers would ask too. Because you have to, we're just drumming or playing guitar.
I'm so used to it, but you're right. It does get to me after a while. But we don't.
But I heard it's a fantastic place.
I love the place.
Yeah, we're actually thinking of reaching out to him and seeing about it because people tell us they just love live music. But if they come to I'm sorry, I digressed. So if they come to a Black Sheep show and they haven't seen the band before, tell everyone what they're getting.
They're going to get a mix of more like newer rock, not a whole lot of classic rock. We do a couple of classic rock numbers from like the 80s. But as a whole, you're going to get mostly 90s forward with the rock. And then we do like a lot of the 90s kind of alternative stuff, like, All the Small Things and the Woohoo song.
Sure, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like new pop. We do, Shut Up and Dance, Bad Guy. We just added Mr. Brightside, which is
the Killers. Yeah. So are you at the point? I mean, first of all, you have a great lineup. I don't know your bass player, but I mean, Butch and Steve are fantastic. Are you at the point where you can just basically show up, read the room, and play whatever it is they want to hear?
We could. And Butch is really good at that. He can read the room, and I'll give him the reins a lot of time. But we're a set list band, just because I can't think on my feet like that. I'll admit it.
Oh, yeah. I get that. In my band, I always joke because we make a carefully organized set list because Carol has the Starship Enterprise over there. She's got 2 keyboards, and she's running all these special effects. And then without fail, at some point, it could be the 3rd song of the night. It could be the last 10 songs of the night. I'm like, yeah, okay, listen, we're playing this, we're playing that, which I get how hard that can be. But you've got to have one heck of a roster at this point of songs. We do. Now, of course, with the new bass player working him in, How long has he been with you now? I saw that you changed. He actually just did his 3rd show with us. His first weekend was Flagler Tavern. That's my phone making noise. I apologize. Okay, so you just did Flagler Tavern. Oh, how was Flagler Tavern for you? I love Flagler Tavern. Every time I see that place, it's packed. It is. We play Traders. You have to plan ahead to get back to the stage after the breaks. I believe that. I believe that. Every time I'm in there, it is crowded and shoulder to shoulder, and they just want to dance and party and have fun and do their thing. And if you watch the videos that I post from that place, it's so funny. They sing along to every song. And I look at these people, and the median age of their audience is, 30. Maybe. Right. And then I'm like, you weren't even alive when this song was written. How do you know that song? Yeah, and they love it. They love it. And I look at the videos and I'm like, you can't even hear the band from them singing along. My favorite was the time, was it our first time there? It was our first weekend there, and we were right in the middle of singing Welcome to the Black Parade. Yeah. And the power went out. Oh. And so you could see on the camera, because, it's battery operated. Sure. Right? You can see the whole thing goes black, and the emergency lights come on, and the PA just, nothing. You're done, sure. Right? And then, of course, there's a TV behind the stage that I keep our logo on, and that goes black. And so, but then the crowd just starts singing. Right? And I just kept the microphone up and pretended like, I'm still singing. I don't care if you can hear me or not. Right. Right? And the audience just started singing along, and then all of a sudden you can hear me go, carry on. And I was like, I love it. And then you can see the stuff start slowly powering back up, and then you can finally hear it come back on. And I'm going to ask the question that I'm betting you a bunch of people want to know, but you may not know the answer. What is with the massively long, I guess it's considered a beard for Butch. Does he still have that? He does. That's his trademark. Is there a story for that? Like, it's just something he likes? He hasn't shared a story. I'm going to have to ask him now. That is my mystery. Piques my curiosity. Every time people see a picture and they ask me about the band, one of the things they will mention is, like, that thing's really long. Is there a reason? And I'm like, I don't know, but Julie's going to be on the band crawl, and I'm going to find out. Maybe if he gets a cramp in his hand, he can just go like that and still play his guitar. It'd work. It'd work. And so he's been with you how long? Almost the whole time, Almost the whole time. We had a rough first year where we kind of had like kind of a revolving door. Every band does. Yeah. And then once Butch joined us, we've been so lucky. And Steve's been day one? Steve was day one. I didn't know if you always had him drumming for you or not. I mean, I couldn't remember. I had to twist his arm to get him in this band. I remember that. And I said, look, well, he's either sleeping on the couch or he's playing in the band. And we didn't go that far, but at least not according to him. He is terrific. When I watched you guys at the Ken Martin thing, there was some song you did. I don't remember what it was. And I remember watching him play it going, oh, that's how that goes. That makes sense that would work like that. And I never knew. And then I saw him do it, and I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. The band is awesome. Thank you. I think, and I love the slogans. Join the flock.
Get flocked up.
Get flocked up. Like, I absolutely love the slogans. I think they are absolutely
My favorite
awesome.
is the back of the T-shirt. We will rock you.
Yes, yes. EWE. Love it. So, is there a favorite song?
Every time we add a new group, I get a new favorite. I mean, probably Welcome to the Black Parade is one of my
That's a great
favorites.
song.
It's a great song.
That's a great song.
And yeah, I love doing that one. Seems like Zombie is a crowd favorite.
Which in all honesty, I never would have picked that.
Me either.
It's kind of mellow.
It's very.
It's dark.
Yeah.
But I've noticed the crowds will all sing along with it.
Yeah.
We don't do anything
That
like that.
gets
Obviously.
such a great response every time we play it, every place we play it.
And now, how are you guys picking the songs since you don't rehearse? Is there like one of you that says this is what we're going to learn, or are you just taking crowd requests, or like how are you figuring out the next
some
song?
of our crowd requests, you know me, I'm an OCD. And so I have the whole band organized on a spreadsheet, and each member of the band, right? Each member of the band has a wish list, has a tab on the spreadsheet, and when it's time to add new songs, we just kind of go through the wish lists and we go, you know what, this would be a great song to add, and that's kind of where the suggestions come from. But Mr. Brightside, I had it on my wish list for a while, and when we played at Flagler Tavern, there was this one guy in the audience with his smartphone like this with Mr. Brightside on it the entire night. And I'm
Really?
like,
Just telling
"Dude,
you like, this is what I
promise
want you to play.
Yeah, and there was like 4 or 5 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know that was that. But now, obviously, I think the crowd that comes to see you goes into a Black Sheep show knowing what they're going to get, right? Which sounds like it could be almost anything, but your rock crowd knows you guys can pull that off.
Yeah, we tend to sway kind of, we don't go all the way one way or the other. There's always, even when we play Flagler Tavern, we'll throw a couple of rock tunes and we'll sneak them in. But we'll always get a mix, but there'll be, a lighter rock, more dance, depending on the venue.
Now, you should know, because I'm sure you've seen the band crawl a bunch. I'm going to ask you what the funniest thing that's happened with this band is.
Oh, with this band? Oh my gosh.
There's got to be something 5 years in.
You should have prepared me better for that. I would have thought
I
about
ask
it.
every band that. I say there's got to be a funny story. There's got to be either a Battle of the Babes story or anyone you want. There's got to be something.
I tend to block those out because they're usually embarrassing for me.
But you're not going to be the cause.
The Black Parade, when it was funny, because, we blew the power. Now, there was another time before that we blew the power at Castleberry. We didn't blow the power. It was out on the whole street.
Out.
Yeah, the whole street was black. You know how the place just totally packs out after post time closes.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so it's wall-to-wall people, and we're on the second to last song of the night, and I know it was because we always play I Hate Myself for Loving You. It's the second last song of the night, and I'm in the middle of that song, and all of a sudden, blackness, and I'm like, oh, there's no emergency lights in there either. And
it's just black because the only windows are on the side.
Exactly, and it was like, I'm like, oh man. So, people just starting to talk and everything. I'm like, I can't end the night like that. That's just anticlimactic. So, loud as I could, I started singing, I wanna walk, but I run back to you. And the whole crowd just came back with, I hate myself.
There you go.
And I was like, yes, that's
you guys
rock
seem
and
to blow
roll.
power out. That's the second you guys had the power die.
I know.
I don't understand.
I don't either.
I don't think we've only had one gig where the power blew out. It was at Rock and Brews in Kissimmee.
Mm-hmm.
And Stevie Q, who was on keys with us, literally just grabbed an acoustic guitar and walked out front with Ryan and just kept me doing the whole thing.
That's awesome.
Without thinking a beat.
That's
It
awesome.
was nothing. They were all about it.
That's awesome.
Well, I am excited. Are you guys gonna? You said your next show at Castleberry's is when you're back out here?
November, I want to say 4th or 5th. It's the Saturday.
Have you looked at Fredster's at all to play out there? Like, that's kind of new.
I haven't, and I'm actually looking for venues that might be closer for Chris.
And where did you say Chris was again? Forgive me.
Lady Lakes? Lady of the Lakes?
Where is that?
He told me it was a half hour from the first and last tab, so.
Okay. There you go. That gives us a rough idea. Well, we'd love to see you down our way more.
I'd love to be out that way
we'd love
more.
to see you down
we
our
like
way
to
more.
spread it around.
100%. Well, I appreciate you making that, especially so for those of you who don't know, so 2 things. We're recording this Tuesday night, waiting to see if we're going to get plowed by the hurricane, right? One minute they're like, forget it. It's nothing, and the next minute they're like, everyone's gonna die.
It depends on which news station you're watching.
And then it's yes, they're so thank you for making the time to do it that way. And then people probably noticed we switched.
Yes.
I don't think I've done an interview where I took this chair and the guest took that chair, but the princess wanted her throne. How do you not? How do you not? Right? How do you not? So
I watched your show, and everybody sits on that side, so.
I don't know how they do that.
I don't know.
Because they sit here.
Huh.
They all sit here on this couch.
You film it backwards.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I usually sit there and they sit here, but now I'm gonna have to watch it in case my video guy's doing something weird with it and flipping it. I've never noticed it, but that doesn't mean anything.
Maybe I'm thinking of the band crawl.
I am just thrilled that you made it out. I am so excited, and I'm excited for Battle of the Babes. My phone is over there, but I will check and see if we're open that day. We will come fill your blank spot. We'd love to do it. I will take a look, and I hope everybody gets a chance to go out to the event. Make sure you donate, and totally unrelated to that, I think it's great if you're going to go out, show Main Street Station some love.
Absolutely.
Those guys are just taking it. It has to be like 5 years of the city just giving them one nonsense thing after another, and she just stands there like the Rock of Gibraltar, and she is not bowing to any of that, which I think is fantastic, because at least from the pieces I get, like, they have no business harassing her.
She definitely got a spine from her dad.
Oh, 100.
Pops
You said he was a
awesome.
federal prosecutor?
Something like that.
Yeah, like
Or
he was
state's
some kind of
attorney or
big.
something, yeah.
Yeah, is he still at the bar? I haven't been there in a
All
long
the time. He has his chairs labeled.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome. So you can support a great cause. You can see 14 fantastic bands.
Maybe 15.
That's right. There's killer prizes for the raffle. It's going to be a great day, a great cause, and you can support Main Street Station at the same time.
And if you're on 2 wheels or even 4, because I learned a new term, cages are welcome. I guess that's a car? I don't know.
Is this my motorcycle speak for car?
I think it is.
For the bike run. So
Yes,
they'll
for
allow
the
a
bike
car
run.
in the bike run?
Yes. They'll probably group them at the front or the back. but
Okay, I didn't know they did
I
that. Does
didn't
it have to
either.
be like a classic car, a hot rod, or a
That'd be
street
even
rod?
cooler. No, it doesn't have to.
So any cage will do. Like, it
I
doesn't
guess
matter.
any cage will do.
That is awesome. So you have no excuse. Saturday for the bike run, Sunday for the event, starting at 1:40, you said, and running until 10 o'clock at night.
Correct.
Congratulations to Nikki on being your reigning champion. And $10,000 goal this year.
10,000.
That is awesome. I'm excited for you guys. And go out, check out the event. Go see Black Sheep when you can. Stay safe in the storm. I'm going to be posting a list of where the bands are supposed to play, because everything is changing hour to hour. So it doesn't make sense to record it, because it'll be wrong the minute I'm done. But I'm going to post the list of what's current. And then as that changes, I'll try and update the post. But you lucked out, because even better than the band crawl, you got Juile Youngster. Can't beat it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys real soon.